time. Okay guys, so this video is about how we introduce sparring in our classes. Now, one of the biggest things that we see a lot of time in striking gyms is that people do lots and lots of pad work and then they go straight into sparring where they have no experience of like hitting anybody or having any punches thrown their way and they're just thrown into the deep end. We want to scale how we build the intensity of sparring, and this is sort of how we do it. We're going to focus on the jab to start with. So for you, Sid, what we're going to look to do is we're going to defend 3 jabs, but I want us to use 3 defensive reactions that are always a little bit different. So the first one is going to be something where I stand my ground, so it's going to be like a parry. First one will be a parry. The second one, we're going to do something where we make a distance, so we're going to step back, pull. And then the third one, we're going to close the distance into a clinch. So you've got one where you stay still, one where you step back, and one where you step closer. Right, so if he throws his jab, we're going to go here and we're just going to parry and we're going to stand still. The second one, as he jabs, I'm going to step back and slide out of the way. And the last one, as he jabs, I'm going to come in and close the distance and get to my clinch position here. So if we bring pads in now, what we'll do, we'll go 3 for 3, so they go 3 jabs each, and they want to parry, pull, and then close in for the clinch. So go for it. Nice. Reset. That was burn. Nice. Good. One more go each. Nice. Let's go. Nice. Awesome. Reset then, guys. Okay. Now, this is how we would start. We'd have it in a premeditated order. Now, if you want to make things a little bit more difficult, you would say to your players, now, I want you to do any defense at any time, so you can step back first, then parry, then clinch. You can clinch first, parry, then step back. So you can do any defensive reaction that you want to any one of these punches. The only rule that we're going to do is you can't do the same defense twice in a row. The reason why we don't want to do the same defense twice in a row is that fact that somebody might recognize that we're parrying every time and then start hitting us with a hook or whatever. So we want to make sure that our defensive reactions are always just that little bit different every time. So this time, if you're coming up, now I want you to mix up the order that you do your defenses. Nice. Nice. Again. Nice. And time. Good. Awesome. Okay. So the next way you would build this, up is instead of going 3 for 3 on the jabs, now we go 1 for 1. So now this is going to be a little bit harder simply because when you throw your strike, you need to be in a position to defend straight away. But same thing again, we can do any one of those defenses to defend that single strike. So we'll go 1 for 1 now, boys. Nice. And time. Awesome, guys. Well done. Okay, so the next part of this now is that we've been using our jabs, which is probably one of the most common strikes you'll see in combat sports, and we'll add another strike in. So we're going to start adding our low kicks into play. So this time we will still do 3 for 3, but this time the player can either jab or low kick. I'm going to show you 2 of the reactions that we can do regarding the low kick. So for you, Sid, now the first one, if he low kicks, I'm just going to check. just a little check like this while staying my ground. The second one is more of an evasion. So I'm gonna take away my lead legs. As your low kicks, I'm gonna take away my lead leg and bring that space back, making sure that I use my lead hand as sort of like a, what's the word for it now? It would be like almost like a stick, I guess. You could say like a stick that stays in front of your partner, something like that. So he goes low kick, can check. He can go low kick again, here, nice, if you go back there. So if you're really struggling with this concept, I would suggest probably starting off with 3 low kicks each and getting used to the defenses. But if you already sort of know what you're doing, I'd recommend now doing jab or low kick. So 3 for 3, and you've got to react to the one that your partner throws at you. So if we're coming out, boys. And time. Well done, boys. Go back on the line. Nice. So as we go on, as we add more and more tools into practice, and as we add a little bit more randomness and things are going to start to mess up a little bit, and that's okay. You're not going to get things perfect every time. The idea of this is, especially as you start sparring, there's going to be a lot of trial and error. There's going to be a lot of times where you might get hit with something, or something that you're trying to hit doesn't land directly on your opponent, and you need to learn to be okay with that. So what we'll do now, we'll do the same thing. We'll go 1 for 1 now, so we can either jab or low kick. Now, you'll probably see a little bit more error in this now. People might be mistiming whatever's going on, but that's completely fine. That's completely normal as we move forward. So coming out, 1 for 1. Nice. And time. Awesome. Good. So the last thing we would do in regarding this type of exercise with our jabs and low kicks now is take away the turns. So this time, there is no turns. So you can throw a jab and you can throw a low kick whenever you feel like throwing it. Yeah. Now this is probably where you're going to see one person get the better of the other person. But I still want you to use those defensive reactions that we talked about before. There's less consequence when it comes to low kicks and when it comes to jabs. And you should get used to feeling just a little bit more confident incorporating these skills into practice now. So if we go whenever you want now, boys. Nice, good. And time, awesome, good. So the biggest thing is when we're doing our jab and low kick sparring is we still want to incorporate some of the fundamentals of like Muay Thai and striking as we go forward. So if you notice with both Ethans that they were both in their stances the whole time, they weren't coming out of their stances whatsoever. They were gauging the appropriate distance. And number 3, which I think is the most important when it comes to sparring, is composure. So none of them are getting completely drawn out of shape because they're worrying about what's going on or flinching or moving their head away. And this is what we want to build on, is the good foundation. So as long as these two are doing those three things as they're sparring, it's good. They're going to progress on from that. If I ever find that somebody is flinching too much, then maybe we either need to reduce the intensity or maybe take away some tools and bring them back into it that way. We want to build confidence, and that's the main thing as we move forward. The next thing we would do, we've set our foundations of our jab and low kick sparring. We could now add more tools into practice. Now there are many ways that you can do this, but we'll just sort of jump ahead. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to allow one person to use all their tools in their arsenal. So they can throw any type of punch, they can throw any type of kick, they can throw any type of knee. The other person can only do that jab and low kick. The reason this is more of an exercise for the person that can do everything, because you know exactly to watch out for. So you know you can watch out for the jab and defend the jab and counter. You know you can watch out for the low kick and start defending the low kick, and then you can do whatever you want to do. So it's a kind of like attack and defend, but the defender can throw a jab and low kick, so you've still got to stay very switched on. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do almost like 20 seconds each. Halfway through, I'm going to say swap roles, and then they get to swap and they get to experience the other side. So if you can jab and low kick, you can do everything. Let's go. Good job, Fox. Swap rolls. And time. Awesome. Let's go back on the line. So the idea with that is the person that can do everything knows exactly to watch out for. So they can still go about how they would normally spar and whatnot, but they have to watch out for these particular things. Now, obviously, because there's a massive sort of disparity in terms of one person can only do two techniques and the other person can do everything, there still has to be an element of respect and control as we do this. It's not a green light for the person that do everything to absolutely wham 10 buckets of shit at him. Like it's important that you stay in a respectful sparring manner, so that way when it's his turn that you get to experience that as well. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to do a little bit of sparring now, so they can do a little bit of everything, and this is just kind of bringing all those skills in together. Nice. Return. Time. So obviously you just seen the boys spar now. They've obviously been sparring for a long time. So they have that element of control and respect for each other, and they know how hard to go, what pace to set at, and go from there. When first sparring, it's important that you know to start off slow and slowly build the intensity up, so that way you can stay composed. You're not flinching, you're not panicking, you're not moving all over the place. You can stay in your structure, so you stay in your stance and you're in a good position to attack and defend. And finally, you're staying at the right distance. You know where you're safe and you know where you need to step to land your shots and know when to get out. So those are the three fundamentals that we teach a lot in our striking lessons that we think are probably some of the most important. Now, if you like this sort of content and you want to see more of what we're doing here, especially with like some almost like tutorials like this, let us know down in the comments. And if you want to see more of our videos, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll bring out more content for you. Thank you.